So whether you like it or not, the Hawk Tuah meme is arguably one of the most viral clips of the year. It gave some random girl from America like a whole new career. This girl was working at like some spring factory back in, I think it was like Tennessee or something like that. Then all of a sudden, she became one of the most famous people on the internet. She became extremely viral, and then she took that 15 seconds of fame and she just ran with it. And she started getting paid a lot of money. But it seems that maybe there is a big chance that all of this has now come to the end, especially with this whole entire controversy of her Hawk Tuah meme coin. Now, I did cover this when it first went down like a few weeks, like I think it was about 2 to 3 weeks ago now when all of this happened. But ever since that day when this all went down, after it started to crash, because if you don't know about the Hawk Tuah meme, she basically, what it was is that she released her own crypto coin. She released her own meme coin called Hawk, like the Hawk coin, the Hawk meme coin. And she promoted this thing massively before it came out. And once it came out, it like within literally 30 minutes, because they had a pre-sale on this coin where people could buy it before it came out. So a whole load of people pumped a whole load of money into it, and then it started to go up, and then all of a sudden it just crashed, and it has not recovered from there since. And from like everyone's point of view, it was clearly obvious that this was a pump and dump. Now, whether this was Hailey's fault or not, she is still at the center of this controversy because it is her like project. It is her meme. It is her coin. And even in my original video, I said that I think that she's just being used as a front for this, that I don't think this is necessarily her fault and she doesn't really know what the hell was going on. There's probably some people that came up to her and said, hey, let's make a Hawk Tuah coin. Let's do this. It'll be really great. You'll make a lot of money. And her just being dumb and naive just kind of went, yeah, that sounds really good. Let's do that. Oh, I'll help promote it and stuff like that. And now she's paying for the consequences for this. But after this all went down, she was on Twitter Live, or like the little thing where I don't know what it's called on Twitter, but you get a whole load of people to come in and like speak and all that kind of stuff. And she was on there, and it went for like hours, and there was a whole load of people that came through. CoffeeZilla was one of them, to say that this is such an obvious pump and dump situation. But as this was going on, she said that she's going to head to bed. That's what she said. She's in this meeting with a whole load of people like speaking over it, saying about how bad this is and all that kind of stuff. And she all of a sudden says that, hey guys, I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. I'm going to go to bed.
So I'm sort of curious, like, not for the token price itself, but just in terms of the fact that there's fees that are being generated, there's an actual, like,
hey
source
guys,
of income.
I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But anywho, I'm going to go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
And after that clip, we had not heard from her for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. She had been absolutely silent. There was nothing from her on Twitter, and there was no new podcast episodes from her extremely popular podcast, Talk Tuah. Nothing whatsoever. Until a couple days ago, where she tweeted out this, saying that I take this situation extremely seriously and want to address my fans, the investors who have been affected, and the broader community. I am fully cooperating with and am committed to assisting the legal team representing the individuals impacted, as well as to help uncover the truth, hold the responsible parties accountable, and resolve this matter. If you have experienced losses related to this, please contact Berwick Law using the link below. And that is the only thing we've heard of her since this. In these 2 weeks, this tweet is the only communication that she has given to anyone on the internet when it's come to this whole entire situation. And now the big question that has been asked throughout the internet is this the end for Hailey Welch? And I saw it on Asmon's stream, and it's a clip that's been making its ways around Twitter as well today, of where Asmongold himself is even saying that he thinks that this is now going to be the downfall and possibly the end of the Hawk Tuah girl, Hailey Welch.
Was it really her fault? It was something that she was responsible for. And so, like, whether it's her fault is something to be decided, like, in the court. But I think that if you look at, like, if you think of it in the eyes of the public, was she at fault in the eyes of the public? The answer to that is abso-fucking-lutely. It's not even a question. Of course she was. Yeah, duh. Yeah, why she allowed her name to be used? Yeah, and she promoted it. She went crazy with this stuff. Yeah, she was young, naive, and greedy. Old story. Yeah, I do feel like this is probably the end of the Hawk Tuah girl. And the 15 minutes of fame have already, you know, kind of extended their welcome and worn out their welcome. I think people have been pretty much looking forward to this. And yeah, this is it. Yeah, thank fucking God. Yeah, there you go. Could they have done it without her? Probably not, no. At least it wouldn't have been as successful.
And you know what? I 100% agree with him. I really, really do that. I think that this is it for Hailey Welch. And she did. She reached a really massive peak. Like, to be honest, I didn't even think that her 15 seconds of fame would go on for this long. I mean, like I mentioned before, when it came to her Tuah podcast, that her podcast reached number 3 in the US of the most popular podcasts. That is ridiculous. She was up there with Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owens. I mean, that is just, that's ridiculous. For a girl who literally said, who was walking through the street one night and said, "Huck Tuah," she's all of a sudden now has one of the most popular podcasts in America. I mean, to be honest, she reached more heights than anyone could have thought. But now I definitely think that this whole entire controversy is going to bring her to a complete stop. And you might be asking me, Donnie, why do you think that? There's been so many other people who have made this much controversies and have still kept their fame. Great point is Logan Paul. If you look at Logan Paul, I mean, all you have to do is look at CryptoZoo and look at other business adventures that he's done. And you can see that people crap all over them. He owes people a lot of money when it comes to CryptoZoo, but he's still kept his fame. The difference between when it comes to Logan Paul and when it comes to Hailey Welch is that Logan Paul has been around for years. I think people forget just how long Logan Paul has been around. This man originally got famous off Vine. That's how long he has been around. He's been around since I was in high school, since I was in like year 10. Next year I'll be 10 years out of high school. That's how long he's been on the internet for. He's a multi-millionaire. He's done stuff like this before and been able to recover. This is part of his brand. I mean, we all remember what he did back in Japan. Whenever like Logan Paul faults or does anything bad, everyone's just kind of like, oh, that's Logan Paul. That's what he does. But people keep going back and watching him. With Hailey Welch, she's only been famous for like, what, 6 months or so? That's it. That's it. And everyone knows her as like, oh, this sweet girl that made like this harmless little meme, this Huck Tuah meme. Oh my God, look how funny and innocent it is. Blah, 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 blah. She seems like such a pretty girl, and then all of a sudden she's scamming people. That is why this is going completely different in the opposite direction of how like Logan Paul can get away with something like this. Not saying that he should. No way. I'm not saying that he should, but I'm just saying that's why I don't think that Hailey's going to be able to get away with something like this. That's why I think that she's not going to be able to bounce back from something like this. And also because of the fact that she took time off. If she didn't take time off from this, like when she said, "I'm going to bed, I'll see you guys tomorrow," and she just kept pumping out content over and over, that's where I think I'll be like, hey, she's just taking this controversy on the chin and she just keeps on going with it. That's what brings you to a halt. That's what makes you stop. If you stop pumping out content when you're in any type of controversy, people will go, damn. People will sit back and think and be like, damn, she really has messed up. Where if you keep releasing that content, people eventually forget about it. That's what Logan Paul does as well. He just keeps pumping out content no matter what. No matter what controversy he goes through, pumping out content. Asmongold, I love the man. Love him. I watch him every single day. So many people talk crap about him. What does he keep on doing? Pumping out content. That's all he does. What does Hailey do? One massive controversy she gets involved in. The first controversy, I mean, it's a bad controversy to get put in. What does she do? Stops making content. She goes from the 3rd podcast on the US to now not even making a podcast episode in like 2-3 weeks. That's why that I think that this might be the end of her. 110%, because she has stopped. She stopped, and a lot of people are talking bad about her, and there's nothing to distract them from this controversy whatsoever. But I would definitely like to hear what you guys would think about all this down below. Do you think that this is the end for Hailey Welch? I 100% think that this might be the end. Who knows? There's a possibility that she could bounce back. There's always a possibility, but personally for me, I just don't think that she will, and I think that this might be the end for her. Her 15 seconds of fame, I mean, it's been pushed out for longer than 15 seconds. It's been pushed out for like 6 months or so, however long it's been. But that's going to be from me, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.